Mars is now in Libra, and with Mars in Libra, Mars now goes to the first of three courts. Libra is a court, an opposition, an entryway to Libra court. It's in opposition to Saturn and Neptune conjunction retrograde. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction retrograde could pose a karmic decision or ruling as a judgment that could result in a possible loss, a disappointment, a setback, a blockage, any of the above. Just keep in mind that it's part of the schedule of destiny. There are things that we have to learn, and there are transformations that does have to take place in the name of Libra, harmonization, balancing the scales, justice, understand. So with the opposition to Saturn, we are going to feel a sense of disappointment, or as if something that we wanted to obtain or achieve was not accomplished, possibly. And when it comes to Neptune, there could be, because of the retrograde, a sense of embarrassment, humiliation, disillusionment, or escapism, as well as passive-aggressive behaviors concerning what dreams or ideals that we are holding, with a sense of entitlement behind it. And right now, this is the point where we're going to realize where justice has a sensitive scale. Perhaps there was something that we know we should have done or prepared ourselves with as Mars was passing through Virgo in order to prepare for court. As I mentioned, Virgo is preparation for court. Mars is the assertive actions that we have to take against the scales of justice in that preparation. So this could be a season where, as Mars goes through Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, there can be many rulings. When it comes to Libra and Mars is coming out of a personal transformative state towards refinement of the self at Scorpio. In other words, he was emphasizing on 6th house details that we had to commit to in order to bring ourselves up to par or to be prepared for deadlines, to get ourselves ready for demanding circumstances that were coming to a head. Also, to make more efficiency, as we could have been overburdened with many responsibilities and duties and many tasks and things that were quite demanding on our timeline, our schedule, our energy, and our capacity to feel like we are being efficient enough to keep up. But Mars is leaving out of Virgo and now entering into Libra, and what the focus will be now is to balance out and harmonize. Where is there friction points that have to be softened? Where are there relationship matters or terms that require some negotiation, compromise, participation, some effort to be cooperative in creating a better outcome or solution? This is where we have to assert ourselves, assert our will towards balancing the scales in the relationships in our life. Wherever we are failing to manifest justice to the self, justice to others, justice to the circumstances that we have, this is where it's a demand now. It's what we must do. And what we're going to find is that Mars in Libra is going to make itself known, as Saturn at Aries is going to give us a sense of being blocked or held back from what we thought we could have been close to beginning with a new life or a new way, a new direction with ourselves. But there could be many tasks that Saturn is asking us to go back, to correct, to rectify, to heal, to go back and clean up. There could be things that Saturn says, okay, not yet. I need you to finish this. I need you to finish that. There's still some details to address. And that sense of disappointment can make us feel like we're going backwards in time. It can make it feel like we were close, but no cigar. This also could be the case where there seems to be a restriction on your identity and what you want to express of your identity, where you want to be free and assert yourself in your life, but it doesn't seem to go the way that you prefer it to go. The best advice that I would like to give you is practicing surrender, knowing that what doesn't go your way, what doesn't go as expected or as we held entitlements to, it could very well be reviews that are very necessary for us to learn something as we commit to it, and we have to do justice to it either way. There's no going around our need to balance scales, our need to harmonize or make efficient or fair what we have going on in life. We cannot practice entitlement anymore. The access is by merit. It is not by personality. It is not by entitlement. It is by merit. Merit of due process. And we will do the work to get where we're going. Libra brings into theme other people. Mercury retrograde is teaching us where we have to fine-tune, clean up, purify, adjust, modify our communications so that we are more effective in how we harmonize and negotiate. Remembering that the opposition with the Sun and Mercury to Pluto, it did ask us to become disillusioned about ourselves, not making everything about ourselves. Realizing that yes, in our personal expression of how we want to assert ourselves toward our destiny, negotiate for ourselves toward our destiny and our claim and who we are and what we want to do, there is still Pluto at Aquarius that is asking us, we still have to make accommodation for the community that we owe service to, for the people who we have contracts with, for those who need us to show up in certain ways in order to be effective or successful. There are adjustments that we have to make because everything is not all about us. We are not the center of everything. So this is another place where some changes and adjustments will have to be made as well. Collectively, I do bring to mind the Mercury retrograde season is catching the 300,000, liberal archetypes who did recently get laid off. A lot of you don't like me mentioning this, but a lot of these transits are about adjusting the spirit of feminism, saving women from feminism, these energies. And one of the topics that Mercury retrograde in Leo is bringing up is, what are we going to do with the kids? What are we going to do with the kids during school season? What are we going to do with the kids after school season? What about the holidays? There's a lot of conversations going on right now that me and you don't get to hear, don't get to listen to, but it's happening. Those conversations of, I've recently gotten laid off. I'm running out of savings. I don't have any money. The kids have to go back to school. It's difficult to even get the supplies. My car note is due, the rent, the mortgage is due. Taxes on this or on that. The HOA is due, and there's many demands right now. And we're at a curve. And that curve goes straight to the sensitivity of the scales. And what this is doing is It's dissolving attitudes of separation, attitudes of narcissism, attitudes of arrogance, attitudes of comparison and competition. It's humbling the hearts so that we can weigh what really matters. That's that Leo in opposition to Aquarius. It's not all about you. What is the bigger picture here, Aquarius? What works for all of us? What helps all of us to survive and thrive and remain balanced on the scales of justice, Mars, Libra, okay? Are you following me? So these are the type of family conversations that are coming up that really is in a reverse effect to the consequences of some, I didn't say all, of some feminism that has affected the circumstances and design of family situations. Certain rigid attitudes that are not cooperative or seeing eye to eye, the alienation of fathers and things of this nature. Now, there could be some phone calls coming through. Hey, how you doing? How have you been? Hey, we need to talk. Hey, big head. So on and so forth. Okay, it's opening the windows back up. It's opening the doors back up. And what's opening it? Desperation, fear, the unknown, Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde Aries, the restrictions around the expression and assertion of the self and that which you want to do or accomplish in your life. And in opposition to that, Mars. I've done all I can to refine the self, Virgo, and now it's time to harmonize with others, balance the scale, stand up under the wings of Ma'at and her 42 laws, extracting ethics, Venus and Cancer from my awareness of greater morals, Cancer, Jupiter expansion. Do we see how this is working? Because Capricorn Folus, okay, has shaken the tree of the corporate drive by the stroke of Donald Trump's pen. And here we are, okay? So it's softening hearts. It's cleaning up attitudes. It's driving people back together to huddle up and make the plans and strategies of family and community, making it about everyone, not just the self. So school season, okay, which is reflected in Leo, 5th house, the children, Mercury, communications, getting things cleared up about what we're going to do, okay, because not only back to school, all right, buying school clothes and supplies and things of that nature, all right, what about the car payment? Some cars is about to get repossessed. Some people is about to get put out their house or leave their house or move in with somebody else or whatever else. Okay. Savings is all, is all ran up. Okay. And then there are those who have other ideas to go in new directions, entrepreneurship, different job, new opportunities. But that is where the retrograde of Saturn and Neptune comes in at Aries, which is, okay, you in your ideal, in your self-awareness, in your identity, you want to see yourself assert or initiate a new direction to start a new opportunity. But Saturn says not yet. Neptune says, I'm not sure, I'm not certain. Okay. And in opposition to that, it shows that Mars in Libra is expressing our harmonization of our relationships is going to be everything to surviving the changes, the adjustments that are ahead. There are some sharp turns and corners ahead. And your ability to harmonize your relationships is going to be essential to your ability to find confidence in the midst of it. This doesn't apply to everyone, but collectively, it's humbling hearts and it's forcing the realization and the acceptance, the respect, the reverence of family, community, Cancer, Jupiter, Venus, is headed into second decan of Cancer, where we have Pluto and Mars ruling. This is protective advocacy. Why do we need the energy of advocacy to be risen by both Jupiter and Venus right now? It's because something is going to catalyze that need. Are we paying attention? And let's not forget, Cancer Jupiter is what we had during 9/11, okay? A catastrophe, a public crisis, or whichever else, it can form a catalyst for us to realize the importance of loving each other over the expressions of feminism. Y'all don't like me talking about it. You fold your arms, you get mad, you start crying. But we really got to look at this. Attitudes are about to be changed. Value is about to be looked at in a totally different light. The things that people used to argue about, bicker about, go back and forth, separate, divorce, turn their backs on each other, so on and so forth, they're going to look so small and minute compared to the problems, the challenges ahead. And you are going to be filled with full respect and reverence for the opportunity of community and people who could stand behind you to have your back during hard times. It's not going to matter how cute the person is, rather they got 6 figures or 6 feet tall. That stuff ain't going to matter no more. We are finally going to start seeing the light on what really does matter in people, in connections and relationships. And it is not what feminists and females of the liberal energy have taught the world to determine and judge value of people upon. I said in my very first or second video on this channel, you can scroll down and go to my very first or second video that I have ever made on this channel, that the moon was conjunct Pluto in direct motion out of Capricorn into Aquarius. And I said it then, that women of the American and Western society are about to get matured. They're going to grow up. They're going to snap out of this dizzy head of feminism, this spell of arrested development and childishness, this immaturity of feminism. They are going to grow up damn near overnight. I said it. People don't like me saying it. Everybody gets mad. But one thing about the things that I say, it always comes to pass. So who are you mad at? It ain't me. You're mad at yourself. And you're mad at God.